Hello, everybody. My name is Kim. I'm the Children and Young Adult Consultant with the Connecticut State Library, and I am here with Emily from the North Haven Library, who's going to tell us about the most amazing accident I think this side of the Mississippi has ever seen in the entire world. NoodleMan, and I'm not even going to say anything else because NoodleMan isn't mine, no matter how much I want him to be. Emily, thank you for being here. We're so ready.
Awesome. Well, hello, everybody. I'm so excited to share my accidental NoodleMan creation with everybody and how he came to be and how we've utilized him with the library and just his whole little biography, if you will. So first off, that's a relatively good image of NoodleMan. He looks a little bit derpy, but to be honest with you, he's a little bit derpy, so it's okay. This is the man of the hour. This is NoodleMan. And he is exactly what he sounds like. He is a pool noodle, a piece of a pool noodle, and a couple of other resources that we had lying around the library. And I'm going to talk about how he came to be and why, and then we'll go from there. So going back to height of pandemic, the library was closed, but the staff was still here, the full-timers, and we were looking for ways to interact with our community and still be here and let people know that we were here for them and that we still wanted to work with them and be an important part of our community, and just work, essentially. I had heard about a webinar that was happening through CLA. So it was October 2020, and I attended this CLA webinar. It was called Children's Librarians Workshop. And, I figured, why not? I'm here, I'm at the building, let me join this webinar. I'll keep it on in the background while I'm working on other things. And then all of a sudden, this incredible workshop came on. It was called Magic Square. I may butcher these names, but it was by Jason Leinwand and Andrew Murdock. And it was incredible. I didn't expect it. I'm going to be honest, I didn't expect it to be incredible, but it was incredible. They were talking all about how you can utilize this magic square, this Zoom square, because we were all doing Zoom programming, so we were closed to the public. But what can we do to make this more engaging, especially to children? Because it wasn't working for us. So I was watching everything they said, and they were using puppets, and they were using little pieces of paper and coming in from different angles. And I was like, wow, this is really great. These are good ideas. Let me see what I might be able to use. And at one point in time, my LTA was in the office with me, but he wasn't supposed to be doing the webinar. And they said, I'm going to give you a 15-minute break to be artsy. They wanted us to get up, walk around our library, and see what type of resources we had lying around and build a puppet. And we had 15 minutes to do it. And I was like, you know what? This sounds fun. Let me do that. So we got up, I ran out, I grabbed a giant pom-pom, some ping pong balls and some buttons and a paper bag, because I was going to make your classic paper bag puppet. Meanwhile, my LTA ran out and he grabbed a pool noodle. And that's the only thing he grabbed. And he came back in the office and I came with my resources and he came with his. And I was like, ooh, I feel like the pool noodle might be more funny than this paper bag. So I glued the ping pong balls and the pom-pom and the buttons. And I was like, this looks pretty cool, but it's missing something. So I was looking around and all of a sudden across my office, I remembered I had this headband with little boppers. And I was like, that's what it's missing. He needs hair. Obviously he needs hair. So I went over, I grabbed this headband, I popped the little boppers on and I stabbed them into his noodle head. And he was born and it was incredible. And all of a sudden we were like, did we just make something great? So the presenter reconvened and he called everybody back over and he was like, who wants to share what they made? And I was like, I don't want to share what I made. It's silly. Nobody's gonna like this. So he was talking, there were a lot of people in it and he was saying you can utilize it coming in from different angles. So we were a teeny tiny square because he was the presenter. So everybody was looking at him. So we muted ourselves. And then my LTA and I were back here and we were just let's see how this would work. And it was oh, this is fun. So then we're coming across and we're doing this. And at one point I stuck him on my nose and I was going like this. And we were having a great time and honestly not even listening to what the guy was saying on the webinar because we were just watching ourselves being silly and having a good time. Little did I know that the presenter was watching us too, and he loved it. He started laughing. He highlighted us for everybody to see, and he said, like, look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Look it. And he was like, do what you were just doing. Cause like, I'm like, like I was embarrassed. I was like, I can't believe that this guy's been watching me like wearing a pool noodle on my nose. But he was like, do it again. Show everybody that you've been inspired. So we did. We came in, and all of a sudden my LTA was like, I'm going to give him a voice. And I was like, go ahead, give him a voice. And he was like, oh, hello. And like, it was like, that's the perfect voice for this thing. And we were inspired, and everybody was enjoying it, and everybody was laughing. And we were like, if we, as a group of adults, are getting such a kick out of this, maybe this will genuinely work for our programs. Maybe this will help entertain that audience of preschoolers, toddlers, like the kids who really just can't stand sitting in front of a computer, even if it's only for 10, 15 minutes. It's not that entertaining. So we did that. We brought him into our different Zoom programmings. We had a Reading Rocks program where we read books and we danced, and so did NoodleMan. We had toddler times. We did preschool story times. We did a bunch of different stories, and he would just make an appearance and then leave, usually just a couple of seconds. And then all of a sudden, it got to a point where, like, you could see the kids' reaction. Like, they were anticipating, and the second NoodleMan came out, you could see, like, everybody go, you know, and it was amazing to watch this, to the point, this is one of my favorite parts of this, a family contacted us, they emailed us independently, and they said, listen, I don't know what to do, and I need your help. My son has asked Santa for NoodleMan, and I don't know what to do. Where did you get NoodleMan? And I'm like, the trash. I got him from the trash. So we actually put a list of Amazon items together, and we sent it to this dad, and we're like, we can't give you NoodleMan because he's amazing, but we can give you instructions and supplies on how to build a NoodleMan. And they did. And they gave this little boy a NoodleMan for Christmas, and then he brought his own NoodleMan to our story times. And you would see our NoodleMan come on, and he'd get all excited, and he'd bring his NoodleMan on. And it was different colors. It had blue hair and a gray body, but like, he had his own NoodleMan, and it was amazing to see this happen. Like, we love NoodleMan, but so did all these kids. So then that inspired us to start utilizing him a little bit more. And mind you, at this point in time, this has cost us no money. Pretty much nothing cost us any money, which is the beauty of this. Like, we had this wildly successful situation come from stuff that I probably would have otherwise thrown away. Like, it's amazing. So we started utilizing that, and I'm actually going to share with you guys a slideshow to kind of give an idea of examples of what I'm talking about, and that's more entertaining than just watching my face this whole time too. So let me get that up.
But we were also watching NoodleMan.
He is lovely, isn't he?
Yeah.
All right, let me see. So, all right, we'll wait for it to load. Okay, so we decided that we were going to utilize NoodleMan as part of our summer reading that year because he was really taking off, and, you know, people are home, they can't come in. We were still closed to the library. I wasn't able to go out to the schools and talk up our summer reading, so we thought maybe we can use him. Kids really seem to enjoy him and relate to him, and we can make videos. So we did. We made some really ridiculous videos, and they just worked. And I'm telling you, we're still making videos. I was just shooting some clips for our summer reading video for this year. And I tell you, every single time we shoot a video, I'm like, this is the best NoodleMan video ever. And I can hands down say that the one that I'm working on now blows everything else out of the water. It's hilarious. I cannot wait to publish it. But so we decided we would do this. So what we did is we drew a picture of him, and it came out really cute. So I emailed it to my friend from high school, and I said, I know you do digital art. Feel free to say no, but would you turn this crayon drawing into a piece of digital art? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. No context. I didn't tell him what it was or why I wanted it. He was just like, yeah, I'll do this. He mailed it back to me with an email, and it was just the subject heading, literate pool noodle. He had no idea that, in fact, that's exactly what this is. It was hilarious. So immediately I emailed him back and I was like, you got it spot on, man. So in other words, we did a great job drawing NoodleMan. So then we had this really great image, digital art image, and we had our original image. So we started advertising with that. So then we actually took away the color. We turned that into line art, and we used that line art on our handouts that the kids were able to take home. And they were able to color that for bonus points, and they like kept track of all of their points. And then what we also did, I'm going to hold this up to the screen, but I know I'm a tiny box. I can show it after the slideshow's over too. The other image, we actually pared it down and simplified him and had it turned into a stamp. So I'm holding that up to my camera right now. We had it done with green ink because NoodleMan's green. And we used this to stamp the kids' summer reading so that they got their points. And it worked really great for summer reading. And now we have these really awesome stamps. So when the library passport program came back around, we used this to stamp all of our passports. And people were like, what is that? And it gave us an opportunity to talk him up. And they were like, this is hilarious. So we're finding other uses for these things as we go as well, which is really fun. So then I started kind of decomposing the digital art, and I created flyers with that, and I put it out there, and people were intrigued by it. It's bright, it's colorful, it's weird. What even is that? It caught people's interest, even if they had never joined us for a Zoom program and seen NoodleMan live and in action. They were like, I don't understand what this is. I'm going to find out more. And they would click on our website or ask us in person. Then we started actually utilizing NoodleMan around the library, kind of like a Where's Waldo. So every week we moved him to different decorations that we had for summer reading. And the kids could come in and try to find him. And they got nothing for doing it, but they loved it. And it was a really easy way for us to kind of engage with the public where, you know, we were socially distanced. We all had our masks on. We had just opened back up. We were not doing in-person programming, but people could come in and do this. This was a destination thing. And all of a sudden, our local newspaper caught wind. So the other picture is actually our front page picture and news story that they ran about NoodleMan. And he was hiding on top of a seagull. And that was really cool. So again, all of a sudden, like, this is interesting. People are hearing about it. Now it's on the front page of our local paper. Now people are reading about it, and they're coming in and they're like, now I want to find NoodleMan. Let me take a look. That summer reading theme that we did, we kind of do our own themes. We did an under the water theme. So we had a giant squid hanging in our department. We had a underwater, like, turtle scene. So we would like hide him in there and you would just see his silhouette staring down at you. Or we had him in like the clutches of the giant squid. Like we were able to like really be silly with it, and we had fun. And the kids would come in and be like, I can't find NoodleMan anywhere. And I'd be like, you might want to look up. And they would get so excited when they saw this. It was a lot of fun for us. And it was a lot of fun for our patrons. And then summer reading was over and we didn't really have a good reason to use him. So I found a new reason. We did a classic take on your first day of school. I had this board for my son's first day of kindergarten and I brought it in and we did it. So it was NoodleMan's first day of endless possibilities. His teacher was Miss Fafarle and he was going to Panay Elementary. And we just were, again, sitting there as a team. I had my staff with me and I was like, what is the funniest thing we can say? And it was fantastic. So then we took that picture, we put it with this message about don't let the excitement of a new school year make you forget that we have resources for you. And we posted this on our website, we posted it on all of our social media, and it got a lot of attention because it's funny. I mean, it's as simple as that, I think. Plus, like, everybody was flooding social media with their kids holding their boards with their first day of school. So we were like, let's get on this. Let's see. This is one of my favorite things that we've done with NoodleMan so far. All of a sudden, I realized it's been a year. We've had NoodleMan for about a year. It's his birthday. It's his birth, like it's his birthday. We should celebrate. Everybody's loving him. Let's do this. So we already had a pre-established program that we were running bi-monthly, a stuffed animal sleepover with a story time, pajama time type thing that people would join on Zoom. So they would come in, drop off their stuffed animals. They would stay the night with us. Then we would tune in for a Zoom story time, have a quick story time, and then we would go around the library, take pictures of these stuffed animals. When the kids came to pick up their stuff the next day, they got their stuffy and a list of photos of the shenanigans that their stuffed animals got into. So we were like, what better way to celebrate NoodleMan's birthday than with a slumber party? So we did it. I've never had a Zoom program fill up so fast. Like, it was full like that. Kids were so jazzed about this, like people and patrons I don't know, I'm not familiar with. Like, we were bringing in a new patron base for this. So they came in, they dropped off their stuffed animals. And again, it was just like, what is the funniest thing we can do? And it worked. So if you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the little blue dog with cucumbers. We printed those out from the internet. They're not real cucumbers. So we had a spa day, a slumber party spa day. We played slumber party games, limbo. We ate cake. There's a picture of the dog eating cake. And then at the top, everybody was singing happy birthday to NoodleMan. I didn't have a candle, so fun fact, you can light a crayon on fire. And it worked, and it was cute, and you can't tell, but I'm like, go figure. I saw it on TikTok, and it's true. You can light a candle on fire. Kids loved it. They had fun with it, and we had fun with it. So then we were like, let's relaunch our 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program, because we're starting to kind of hopefully get to the end of this pandemic. So we rebranded our 1,000 book program, and of course we had to use NoodleMan. So we've got him, and you know, there's a picture of him in his fancy suit, because again, there's just come up weird occasions where we're like, you know what would look hilarious? If NoodleMan had a suit. He also has a raincoat and a little rain hat, and he has a bathrobe with a little like old-timey bedtime hat. Like, we just, whatever you can think of, it's like, this makes me giggle, it's probably going to work, and it does. So he's got a whole little wardrobe. Then we decided to use him for winter reading. So again, I emailed my friend and I was like, can you slap a scarf and earmuffs on this guy? And he did. And so now we have a winterized NoodleMan, and I made this flyer in Canva with his image, and we shot a video. And up until the video I'm working on right now, this was my favorite video. It's hilarious. So I am actually going to share that with you guys right now because it's only 40 seconds. The only other thing I'm going to say about this is I just want you to picture like a 1990s used car salesman. That's the vibe we were going for. Let's get this started.
Come on down to the North Haven Library. We've got fun, fun, fun. We've got games. We've got prizes. We've got books. We've got great deals. All this for the low, low price of totally free. Winter reading begins on February 14th because we love to read.
There we go. So let's get back. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. Sorry. Figures we practice and other videos. There we go. All right. And then this is my last slide. I'm going to exit it soon, but this is what we're doing for summer reading this year. Yeah, we are doing a Candyland theme. We have a very successful summer reading program pre-COVID with like 750 kids, and they come in and they play this little interactive life-size game. And we haven't been able to do that. So we're doing, you know, a halfway kind of thing. So we're going to do a giant Candyland in our children's department, and we're advertising with NoodleMan, and hopefully that gets the kids excited, and that is what I am designing for our propaganda video right now. So just to show you up close now that I'm bigger, this is the stamp that we have. It's hilarious. I'm going to stamp it and show you guys what it looked like. So people that visit us for the first time ever went home with a NoodleMan stamp, you know, and not everybody asked, but I'm sure they looked at it after like, what? And that's going to drive them back to our website. That might even drive them back here, and they're going to like fall in love with the North Haven Library just like I have. And then I'm actually going to a health fair this weekend, and we have a booth, and we're going to be handing out information and just representing. But we thought, you know, what can we do as a handout to get people to remember us and know that we're here and we have great things to offer? And the answer was, let's advertise summer reading. So I very quickly put together this label on a mailing label. I printed them off. It's got NoodleMan on the front, says, I want candy land, summer reading 2022. And our logo on the back. So people will see this, recognize it, and hopefully want to learn more. And of course, it's candy. So they're going to take it, if they're kids or adults, and they're going to want to eat it. So that is pretty much the overall summary of how NoodleMan was born and implemented and used and developed into this amazing, beloved library character.
There's almost not anything to say. Thank you everyone for coming. I just don't, there's literally nothing to say. I mean, so it took no dollars, no money. You did it in 15 minutes during a break, came up with the idea for NoodleMan, and then just utilized him in slow ways. Then, you know, now he's on the Santa Claus Christmas list to toddlers. I mean, like, it just like, there's nothing else. There's nothing else to know. And now he's a like pinnacle figure as a part of like North Haven library culture, all because of a pile of trash, I guess. But he's not trash anymore. Now he's NoodleMan.
Right. Now he's a beloved member of our library community.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've actually had children come in and ask, do you have any NoodleMan books? And my answer has been, not yet.
Love that yet. Love that yet.
If people are asking, maybe it's something that we should do next.
Oh my goodness. I can just see NoodleMan as like an early reader type situation.
Right?
Some
I'm
Bob
thinking
book type
Willem
situation.
style, like
Yes!
Elephant Sneaky, or Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. Like, NoodleMan's got a job to do. Like, yeah, it's brewing.
This is, or like, where in the world is NoodleMan? Like, we're on the Rose Commer in San Diego for like the millennials of us. There's nothing to ask. There's nothing to ask. This was great. I have nothing else to say except gracious goodness. But I think what I appreciate is like, look what happens if we sort of take a minute to slow down, right? I think the pandemic was so debilitating for all of us. Like, it was not just, we talked a lot about children, we talked a lot about the elderly, but I think it was just as traumatic for the rest of us whose lives were just sort of like turned upside down. And it's really easy to kind of get frozen into like, there's nothing to be done about anything ever. And, you know, to see and to hear about how you all took something really simple, like great things don't have to be complicated. They don't have to be like printed off a 3D printer, come from a gajillion dollars, you know, like that's not necessarily the way it has to go. And, you know, we don't necessarily have to sort of be paralyzed by, you know, these unusual situations forever. Right. And I just love how you all were able to, you know, early COVID, you know, like the whole world has shut down. You know, what are we to do? And you did something that was within your, I assume, like mental capacities to hold. Like no one at that time, no one was trying to learn anything new. Like our brains were mush. Yeah. And you just like, you made something so beloved and sweet, and there were puns. Can I have the list to make a NoodleMan?
You sure can. You sure. It's so simple.
Oh man, but you committed to it too. Like I think a lot of this is a testament to the, you know, North Haven library staff, because I think it would have been so easy to do nothing with it. It would have been so easy to sort of do this 15-minute assignment, have some fun, toss it aside, and then like go back to whatever, you know, we'd been doing before that. So I think it really is like a hats off. I don't have a hat. A hats off to you all for committing and running with it and kind of seeing what it could be before it even got there. And now you're famous because like someone told us about NoodleMan. I did not find out about Noodle. I was told about NoodleMan specifically for CG pages. So
it's amazing. It's amazing.
How does fame feel?
It feels pretty okay.
Well, thank you, Emily, and thank you, NoodleMan, wherever you are down there.
Woo.
And I for one am looking forward to seeing how summer reading works out for y'all. If I happen to pop up at like a program or two, you can put me to work. I just like want to see it because it sounds like it's going to be great.
I will be sure to share our upcoming video for summer reading because it is going to blow everything else out of the water. It doesn't even have sound yet, and it's hilarious.
Well, my eyes are open. I'm ready. I can't wait. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.